Hey friend, it's Ange here, and today on the podcast, I am practicing what I preach. And that will make sense once I tell you more about this topic and we'll come back full circle. So, what we're talking about is how we feel like we're not making the kind of progress that we want to in life. And I think there's a sneaky real reason why the progress isn't happening that many of us are not fully aware of. So, what I'm going to do is shine a light on that for you so you become aware of it in hopes that you change it so that you do actually make the progress that you want to and that you do create the results that you desire, hopefully, even better than you even imagine, and you feel awesome in your body and in your life. That's what we're going for. You may hear some baby noises in the background. We have little Miss Vivi here. That's what we call her. Her name is Evian, my baby girl, who just turned a month old recently at the time of the recording of this episode. She is named after her dad, if you're wondering where her name comes from. Her dad's name is Ian, so Evian is her name, like the water. And her middle name is Wren, like the bird. And that is because Ian and I went back and forth between like loving both of those names. And then we landed on with Evian Wren Barnard. And then my boy's name is Zion. Just sharing about my baby names. All right, proud mama moment over here. Anyhow, we'll continue on. So I had a wonderful morning this morning. I want you to just picture it because I'm so proud that I had this moment for myself. I actually sat out on my balcony overlooking the water, listening to the birds. I had my robe on and I had hot coffee in my hand. And it was hot, y'all. Do I need to say that 3 times? It was hot. Because most of the time when I get to drinking my coffee, it isn't hot anymore. It's like freezing cold. Well, not freezing because the house isn't freezing, but you get what I mean. In fact, I'm picturing most mornings somehow it gets knocked down by my toddler. So I have like a little bit left in the cup. Anyways, that's why I really appreciated this morning. That was my point. So I sat down and really enjoyed my coffee and I was able to journal. And I love that because it makes me feel so good to get my thoughts out. And that's where this podcast episode idea really came from, was I was writing about my feelings around like how I always feel like I wish that I was farther along, that made more progress. And then I started thinking about people that I admire and like what do they do? And it just got me to this topic. So let's get into it. All right. So this is what it can look like for me. And I want to see if you can relate to any of this. So this feeling like I wish that I could do more workouts, like get more exercise in. And what I find is that when I plan to do the workout at a set time, what happens is the environment around me seems chaotic. And so then I tell myself, like, you can get the workout in once you clean the house, then do the workout, or once you finish this thing. And it feels like that perfect timing, those perfect conditions never really show up. And it's like I'm waiting to do the thing that I really want to do when those conditions are perfect. But yet, the people that I admire, like the real people, I'm not talking about people that just get on Instagram and they like show the perfect like setting and they act like that's real life. I'm talking about the real people. Like what the authentic people, what they do is they work out no matter what it looks like around them. Like I see moms like getting it. It's like they have their kids, like sometimes they'll put them in like a little swing or something and they'll be on the ground like doing a workout. There'll be like stuff all around, like their toddler created a tornado around them and they're still getting that workout in. Or people like are going out and running in conditions when it's like uncomfortable outside and they're still doing it. It's not the ideal conditions, but they're still showing up. They're not waiting for the conditions to be perfect. And I have noticed the same thing with my clients. I have clients that all the time will tell me, yeah, I'll do that. Like, but I feel like I need this additional like accolade. And that might be like, oh, I need this title for me to go after that job. I need this additional experience. I need this kind of education. It's like they need something else. In other words, they need things to be perfect before they'll go after the thing that they really want, before they'll take that action. And this is what I've noticed with those that are creating awesome lives and truly proud of how they showed up. They take action when it's messy, when it's not perfect. And they do this with an energy. It's about the energy. It's not just about taking action. It's the energy they're putting into it. They have this energy of curiosity. It's like, let me just see how this works out. Let's just see. We're curious. In fact, if you've ever worked with me one-on-one, you know that I often say that. Let's just see how it works out. I'll be here with you. We'll see. We'll send that email. We'll have this conversation. And we'll laugh about it if it's a disaster, and we'll fix it and we'll move forward from here. We'll learn from it. That's what I mean. They have this energy of curiosity, and then they're learning from what they're doing. They're taking action on. They're not expecting it to be perfect. In fact, people will launch programs and offerings knowing that it could be so much better. In fact, some of my proudest moments is when I have actually launched the thing, put it out there, put the offer out there, did the thing, knowing it could be so much better. And it's hard to do that because if you tend to want things to be perfect, like I'll raise my hand for that. I want things to be perfect. I want the conditions to be ideal. It's really hard for you to take action when it's not ideal, when you know it could be better. If you're someone who really values quality, that is so hard for you. And I want you just to notice that in yourself, but also see that the people that are creating the results they desire in life, they're taking action when it's not ideal, taking messy action, putting it out there when it's what one of my mentors often says is B minus work is what they're aiming for. B as in boy, B minus work. They're not aiming for A plus work before they actually share the thing or go after their thing. And sometimes too, I see where we expend so much energy trying to get it to be an A plus. Let's say we're just even trying to send a message out to someone and we're like obsessing about what to say versus actually just sending the message out. Aim for B minus. Be like, I feel good about that. I mean, it could be better, but you know what? It's not really worth my energy to like try to perfect it. Like there's so many things in our life that are not worth our energy of trying to perfect. And we're getting so wrapped up in that it's affecting our ability to do the things we actually desire and have more energy left because we're expending it on like perfecting the thing. I even think about just simple stuff, y'all, like where let's say you're like planning a party or something and you obsess about like a detail that people probably don't even care about, but you pour so much energy into that when it's like what you should really be pouring energy to, if we're going to shit on ourselves, SHOULD, would be like the interactions that are going to happen there, the fun that's going to be generated there, not like the obsession around what the decoration is going to look like. But that some of us are doing that in our life where we're obsessing about the details being perfect before we do the thing we actually want to do. That's my point. And what I want you to do is I want you to notice where this is showing up in your life, where you are not taking the action that you desire because you are waiting for the conditions to be perfect. You're waiting until you have some extra thing waiting for the timing to be right, the environment to be set up perfectly, for you to have all your ducks in a row. And then it makes it so you're not making the progress that you want to. One of the greatest regrets I have is, and I am a person that believes things happen for a reason, or that everything can be turned into good. It may feel crappy in the moment, but I know that God can use everything for good. I have that belief. I just want to say straight up. And when I look back, I also have some regrets around where I feel like I didn't do the thing that was actually on my heart because I was waiting for more experience, for the conditions to be perfect, for a better time. And let's be real, like if you're waiting for things to calm down, for it to be like a better time, I don't know. I feel like things don't just like slow down. There's always just more that gets added to your plate. It doesn't seem like there ever is a perfect time. And you just gotta be the person that takes action in the time that you do have, even if it's chaotic around you, and work with it. Like I've always admired people that could sit there and read a book when their house is like messy around them. Like what? Like I can't do that. Like I just struggle because I'm like, no, and like the house needs to be clean before I can sit down. All these things need to be done before I can sit down and do the thing that I enjoy, which is not a good mindset to have. Like I want to target that. Because again, it's like, I'm not even going to allow myself enjoyment until everything is done and the conditions are perfect. Like, where are you doing that in your life? I know you're doing it. Where are you doing that? Where are you thinking that way? Because it's not serving you. Because what you're doing is you are putting your progress on the back burner. You're putting your joy on the back burner when all you have is here right now. We're not even promised tomorrow. So take the messy action. Do the B- work. Approach it with curiosity. Like, I wonder what would happen if I do this. Like, some other moments in my life when I was so proud of the results I created, I did that. Like, I sent pitches out, emails out, and I was like, wonder if they'll respond to me. And they did. And then it led to a great opportunity for me. There was plenty of times people didn't respond to me and ignored me. But I'm grateful that I showed up with curiosity and non-attachment and was like, let's just see how this goes. Maybe you've been a part of some of my previous programs where you may have noticed, like, maybe it was messy, but we still had a lot of fun and we created some good results for ourselves. Maybe you noticed that my tech was whack and I was like, oh, that link doesn't work. Oh, that thing doesn't, like, but we still had fun chatting with each other. We figured it out. And I feel like too, many of us that aren't doing the thing on our heart, it may be related to something that could really benefit someone. And you're not showing up because you're waiting for it to be perfect when people could benefit from the thing that you have to offer, that in its imperfect state, they could still benefit from it. So you're robbing people of these gifts because you're waiting again for perfection, for the ideal conditions, all of that. I know I feel very repetitive here. I feel repetitive saying this over and over, but I think it just shows up in so many different ways. And you hear my alarm going off right now? That is my pump alarm to tell me that it's time to turn into a little cow and pump some milk for your baby. So I'll go ahead and do that. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was a quick one. I just wanted you to think about where this is showing up in your life. And I got three new mantras for you. You want to hear them? I got to share these with you because this is like what I wrote down to remind myself to not get wrapped up in the ideal conditions, perfect conditions thing. And I like these. Okay. 1, I'm just going to say it. And just let the alarm go off and this will be a background music. So, Nike, the shoe, right? The brand, Nike, right? And it's just do it. Well, I was thinking for me, what helps me is just effing do it. And I like to add, I'm sorry, kids, the warning, the swear word there because it emphasizes it. It's like when you go outside and you're like, it's cold out here and you're like cold AF. Like really cold. Sometimes you need that in there. You need that extra oomph in there. And my husband doesn't understand it because he grew up like never swearing at all. And like for me, I'm like, just you got to emphasize it. Sometimes you need that. So that's a mantra for myself. Just effing do it. Just effing do it. One life. Do it. Do the thing, even if it's messy. Send the pitch. Show up. Take action. So that's a new mantra of mine. Just effing do it. And the other thought that I have is work with what you have. So instead of sometimes we're like, oh, well, I need all these additional things to take the action. Like I need more stuff. Just work with what you have. See what you can do with what you have. This shows up for me a lot as a creator and an online creator because I'm like, maybe I need this new system. Maybe I need this new whatever tech thing. And it's like, work with what you have. You got Google Drive, work with Google Drive. You got Zoom, work with a Zoom link. You don't need all this fancy stuff right now. You can improve it later, but just work with what you have and think about what that actually means to you right now. All right. The other statement that you can take with your mantra is if you want to create peace on the outside, you need to create it on the inside first. You don't wait to feel the way you want to feel when you have the thing. That's what many of us are doing. Oh, I'll feel great when I have a house that's really clean. I'll feel great when I have that amazing job or when I have that amazing partner or when I have the kids. Then I'll feel good. What I'm saying is feel good now. Feel the energy now that you want to create. What can you do now to generate the energy that you want to actually create? That's how you get on the channel of the thing you desire. If my woo hat came on, that's what I would say. It's being that energy now. So I think about, that's why I feel like if you take the messy action or you do the thing when the conditions aren't ideal, what actually ends up happening is like, it's like a trusting energy when you show up and you do that, or you have that curious energy, the experimental energy. That's all high energy stuff. When you get on that channel, amazing results come in. So that's what I think about, is like creating that energy now. And this was also sparked because I went to the grocery store and I bought a GT's kombucha. And the kombucha, I love that because they have the GT's brand. They have quotes on it, and I love reading quotes. And also, this reminds me of Dove chocolates too. I love the quotes. Anyways, the quote that I read, I was like, oh, I like this one. That's how I chose my kombucha. And I thought I put it in my cart. Turns out it was not the one that I had chosen, because when I got home and I was unpacking groceries, I was like, oh, this quote. And it felt like it was the quote that I needed to hear. And it was some quote about, again, if you want to generate, like if you want peace in your life outside of you, you have to create the peace inside of you first. So that got me thinking about this whole mantra, is my point. It's the energy first. You create the energy of the thing that you truly desire first with what you have right now. Like, see where this shows up and gets a little hard. I know that maybe I'm going off track here, but this popped up in my mind. Sometimes I find myself in the house that we live in now. It's so weird for me to say this because you used to live in like a tiny house, but legit tiny house. But here I'm like thinking like, oh, I want more space, and like, oh, I'll feel more peace when we have more of the space. And it's like, here I am being called to feel the peace now where I'm at, create the peace in the environment I'm in now, versus waiting until I have the other thing. That's the point here. It's using what you have now. So it might look like, how can I create a little like Zen spaces here? How can I organize my stuff better in the small space I'm in that creates more of that feeling of peace for me with what I have now, versus acting like I'm not going to feel that way until I have the thing later. It's another way that this stuff shows up. It goes back to the main theme here. It's you're waiting for ideal conditions before you take action, before you decide that you're going to feel the way you want to feel. It's always a feeling you're chasing anyways. Why do you want the thing? It's a feeling that you're after. Not just the thing itself, it's also the feeling that you're after that you can generate right now. So my point is this. I'm going to tell you my 3 mantras that you can take with you again to wrap this up. My point is this. 1, what if you didn't wait for everything to be perfect? What action would you take now? What would you do now if you weren't waiting for ideal perfect conditions? I bet you'd work out when things are a little bit crazy around you, not the ideal time. I bet you send that pitch or that email or go after that opportunity even when you don't feel ready. That's what you would do. If you were just curious, you just want to see what it could possibly lead to, non-attachment, you would take the action. And again, these are the 3 mantras I want to leave you with. 1 is create peace on the inside so that you can see it on the outside. 2 is work with what you have. 3 is just effing do it. One life, y'all. One life. Okay, I'll leave you with that since that alarm keeps going off. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.